हाय स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू स्मार्ट वर्ल्ड स्कूल ऑफ कंप्लीट एजुकेशन। और आपका एक बार फिर से स्वागत है आपके इस चैप्टर में। हम इस चैप्टर में आप इंग्लिश मीडियम के बच्चे हो और बहुत सारे बच्चों को होता है कि कुछ डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स होते हैं जो आप पढ़ नहीं पाते हो। तो इस चैप्टर को हमने 4 अलग अलग क्राइटेरिया में रखा हुआ है ताकि हर बच्चे को ये हर लैंग्वेज में समझ में आए। तो पहले तो ये रीडिंग करके हमारे टीचर्स आपको बताएंगे, तो रीडिंग का पूरा वीडियो आप देखिए, एंड तक देखिए ताकि आपको रीडिंग समझ में आए। उसके बाद में आप हिंदी एक्सप्लेनेशन के वीडियो को देखिए ताकि आपको सारा जो इंग्लिश का कॉन्सेप्ट है वो हिंदी में भी समझ में आ जाएगा। फिर आप मराठी एक्सप्लेनेशन देख सकते हो, तो मराठी में भी जो बच्चे हैं उनको भी फायदा होगा। साथ ही साथ में बच्चों, अगर आप नॉन मराठी हो लेकिन आप महाराष्ट्र में पढ़ रहे हो, प्लीज आपको भी मराठी में ये चैप्टर देखना चाहिए ताकि आप मराठी भी समझ पाओ। और उसके साथ साथ में यही चैप्टर आपको इंग्लिश में भी एक्सप्लेन किया गया है, क्योंकि आप इंग्लिश मीडियम में पढ़ते हो लेकिन ये होता है कि आपको इंग्लिश समझ में नहीं आता, क्योंकि आप इंग्लिश तो हिंदी समझने में ही अपना पूरा टाइम लगा देते हो बच्चों। तो प्लीज इंग्लिश एक्सप्लेनेशन को भी आपको देखना है और समझने की कोशिश करनी है। नए नए वर्ड्स आपको वहां पर सीखने मिलेंगे और आपको किस तरीके से राइट, सो हाउ बेसिकली you can speak in English and you can understand every word and the sentences flow, right? So please, if you listen to English explanation, then definitely you don't have to by heart your question answers, you can write it very effectively. अगर आप इंग्लिश एक्सप्लेनेशन सुनते हो और अपना वीडियो इंग्लिश एक्सप्लेनेशन में बना करके भेजते हो बच्चों, तो आपको बिल्कुल भी क्वेश्चन आंसर बाय हार्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। यू कैन राइट ऑन योर ओन, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सो हम ऐसी पढ़ाई आपके लिए करवाना चाहते हैं, ठीक है। अगर आप करना चाहते हो और आगे बढ़ना चाहते हो तो इस चैप्टर को एंड तक देखिए। हमने एक पूरा ऐसा मेथड बनाया है जहां पर आप बच्चे जो है इस चैप्टर को देखोगे, रीडिंग, एक्सप्लेनेशन, हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मराठी, सारी चीज़ों को। और आप अगर हमारे साथ पर्सनलाइज्ड एजुकेशन प्लेटफॉर्म पे जुड़ोगे तो आप यहाँ पर कुछ प्राइजेस भी विन कर सकते हो। आपके सारे चैप्टर्स एवरीडे एक पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट का वीडियो आपको यहाँ पर मिलेगा, लेकिन उसके लिए पहले आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना पड़ेगा। अगर आप पहली बार इस चैनल पे आए हो तो तुरंत से अभी सब्सक्राइब कर लो ताकि हर रोज एक सब्जेक्ट का आपके सिलेबस का एक वीडियो आपको मिले यहाँ पर, और आप जो है उसे सही तरीके से पढ़ करके आगे बढ़ पाओ, राइट। सो आपको एंड में मैं आपको टाइम टेबल भी दे दूंगा कि किस तरीके से कौन से दिन कौन सा सब्जेक्ट होगा और कौन से वीडियोस आपके सामने आएंगे, राइट। सो उस वीडियो को देखने के लिए आप तैयार रहिएगा। और हम जो है इस सारी चीज़ों को बहुत ही बेहतरीन तरीके से पर्सनलाइज्ड मैनर में आपके लिए तैयार करके रखे हुए। बस आपको वीडियो देखना है, एंड तक देखना है और आगे बढ़ना है, राइट। सो ऑल द बेस्ट स्टूडेंट।
Hello students, welcome to Smart World, a school of complete education, and today we are going to read about a beautiful story, or you can say about marathon, why it take place and why there is a need. So let us start this topic. The legend of marathon. The marathon is a sporting event. It is a running race of about 42 kilometers. The word marathon also means a task or event that lasts a long time and requires a lot of effort and patience. The first marathon race was organized at the time of the first Olympic Games, which were held in Greece. The marathon was started in the memory of legendary Greek hero Philippides, who had carried an important message from the Battle of Marathon to Athens. Given below is a story of his famous run from Marathon to Athens. We do not know whether the story is historically accurate, but it has inspired many generations of sportsmen. So, marathon, marathon is a sporting event, and it is a running race about 42 kilometers. The word marathon, it means a task or event that is lasting a long time and it requires a great effort and patience. You have to work hard calmly and give a strong hard work so that you can just finish the task. The first marathon, it was organized by the Greece on the Olympic game, and it was held. The first Olympic was held in Greece. Then they started a marathon race in the memory of the legendary Greek hero, whose name is Philippides. As wife, Philippides is the person who has carried important message from the Battle of Marathon to Athens. Given below here a story we will be reading about the marathon attempts. But what I have to think, we don't know whether it is true or not, but it has inspired a lot of sports person to just take part in it. About 2500 years ago, so much accurate date, Persia was a mighty kingdom. The large army had landed in the bay near the town of Marathon. The target was Athens, a city-state in Greece. Athens had a small army compared to the Persian one, but the Athenian soldiers were very brave. They had faced the Persian before, but they needed help from the other Greek kingdoms now. They decided to send a special messenger to the neighboring kingdom of Sparta. His name was Philippides. Philippides was a young man who served as a day-long runner. He ran to Sparta like the wind. He covered the distance of nearly 100 kilometers in a day. But alas, the people of Sparta were busy with some ceremonies. They did not want to join the battle immediately. Philippides took this message back to Athens with a heavy heart, but on a light feet. Again he ran 100 kilometers within a day. So what? It was 2500 years ago. The Persia was a very mighty, very strong kingdom, and their army has landed in the bay. Bay means a part of area. Here you can say or build where the buildings are lying, etc. But mainly you can say at the edges. So their target was to just occupy Athens, and Athens is a city in Greece, and Athens soldiers were very brave. They had faced Persia before and won. Why? Because they are very brave and they fought very bravely. So this time Athens, you can say, needed help. They were sending on messages to their neighboring kingdom, whose name is Sparta, and the messenger who will send him is Philippides. Philippides is a good racer, you will say, a day-long runner. He ran to Sparta like a wind. He just nearly traveled 100 kilometers in a day. 100 kilometers he can travel in a day. It's very big, if you will see. But at that time when he reached, the people were busy at some ceremony. Sparta people are busy at some ceremony and they don't want to join immediately. Obviously, they are just busy in the ceremonies or something. So Philippides walked again, but taking this note with a heavy heart. And then he again ran 100 kilometers within a day. When the general of Athens heard the cold Spartan response, they did not lose heart. They were ready to fight on their own. So general of Athens, they have learned that thing. So they did not lose heart. They did not lose his confidence. They were ready to fight with Persia. The Persian army was watching Athens like a cat watches a mouse hole. So they decided to launch a surprise attack on the Persians. So Persian army was just watching Athens like a cat watches a mouse hole. The Athenian generals sent their flanks on the Persian forces like speeding arrows and began to draw them in. The Persians were not ready for the battle. So what did they do? So Athens decided they will launch an attack on the Persia. So Athenian general what they do, they just land, just they send their flank, their army, it's a part of an army in a battle, and force and just give speeding arrows, and they began to draw the Persian in the battle. But the Persian, at that time, Persian was not ready. Even so, they are very skilled archers. They showered arrows on the soldiers of Athens, but the arrows simply fell off their helmet and strong armors. Also, the Athenians knew their seashore well. The Persians were now new to the terrain. Many of them were killed, many more were injured. Some of them were lost in the marshy areas. The brave Athenians drove back every single remaining Persian soldier back to their ships anchored in the bay. The battle was over within a few hours. So, hmm, even they were skilled archers. Archers means yes, they shoot arrow very good. They have a capability to shoot arrow like Arjun is a good archer if you know in Mahabharata. So they showered arrows on the soldiers of Athens. Although they were not ready, Persians were not ready, but they showered arrows on them, but nothing hurt the Athens. Why? Because they are having a strong helmet and strong armor. Armor is just like a dress of a metal. Athenians knew their seashore, where they are living. They knew that their seashore are what is the terrain, what is the land of the seashore. So Persia was not knowing, they were new to the terrain. So many of them were killed in them, and many more were injured, and many were lost in that marshy region. Marshy region where just like Daldal you can call it. So what happened? Persian soldiers they just go to their ships, which is anchored, which is fixed in a bay, which is. The battle was over within a few hours. The battle was over, but the Persians did not accept defeat. They saw that the entire army of Athens had rushed to the seashore, leaving the city of Athens far behind. Only the aged people, women, and children were left in the city. The Persians now devised a new plan. The sea route to the city of Athens was much shorter than the land route. The Persians decided to take the sea route and pounce upon Athens from the seaside. The Athenian army would take very long to travel back to Athens on foot with their heavy armor and weapons. Seeing the Persians, the defenseless people in the city of Athens would think that Athens had lost the battle, that it would be easy for the Persians to take over the city. So what happened made that Persia was defeated. Persia was defeated, but they don't want that they should be called as loser. So what they tried, they devised a new plan, decided on plan, and this thing then they thought, they just work on it, that they can occupy the city Athens. How? The sea route to the city of Athens is very much shorter than the land route. So they decided to just take away the Athenians. So what they did that? So they decided to just catch or just take the Athenian kingdom. But Athens were also knowing that there are some planning, and they know they can't walk with these huge armor, heavy armor and weapons. Seeing the Persian defenseless people in the city of Athens would think, when the defenseless people did see that Persia entering their kingdom, they would think that Persia has won and Athens has lost. So they would be just sacrificing, and hence Persia would be taking their city. The Athenian general too were good strategists. When they saw the Persian fleet leaving in a hurry, they understood the Persian plan. So they resolved to go back to Athens as fast as possible to defend it, but it was very necessary to let the people of Athens know that they had won. They would not open the city gates to Persia. They would wait for the victorious Athenian army to return. The city would be safe. Who would take this message to them? The message must be delivered before the Persians reach there. who would travel faster than the Persian ships, and that too on a longer route was but Philippines. So and then he was a true strategist that he is now thinking that not the thinking that Persia is flying very sailing together with high speed or leaving in a hurry. They understand that yeah, they are having a plan. They want to just caught or catch their kingdom. So they decide to go back as fast as they can, but because of the heavy armor and etc., heavy armor and weapons, they can't go back. So this, so but as a society, the people know that Athens has won, not Persia. So that they would not open the gate for the Persia. So that city would be safe. But who will take this message that we had won? Then they decided that Philippines is the man who can travel very fast than the Persian ships onto a longer route. Philippines has already completed a run of more than 200 kilometers just the day before. But he was a brave young man. He would do anything for his state. Also, this time he was to carry a happy message. It was not easy for Philippines to reach Athens sooner than Persians did. That is why this time he left the usual safe route and chose another one that passed through cliffs and mountain, but was much shorter. Philippines scaled the first step cliff and picked up speed. He had to run more than 40 kilometers. It was very hot. He began to perspire. There was some shady olive tree on one side of the road, but Philippines couldn't wait, couldn't rest. He just ran on and on. His heart began to beat faster. He became weak with hunger and thirst, but he didn't stop. So, Philippines has already completed 200 kilometer distance the day before. So now he was not in a state. Obviously, he was not 200 kilometer distance in one day. Other day he has to walk. No, you can't walk. But he was very brave and he said to just do the work. And at this time he has to carry a very happy message. Obviously, he will be going very fast. So it was not easy for Philippines to just reach Athens than the Persians. So he just chose another path which is having cliffs and mountain and it is shorter. Philippines scale means he climbed up a high wall, up a cliff and then pick up a speed. Then he ran more than 40 kilometers and at that time it was very hot and he began to perspire. Perspire means sweat. So there was some shady olive tree on the road and he want to just rest but he can't do the rest. So he just ran on and ran on. He just ran very fast. His heart even began to beat faster and he became became hungry and thirsty. But he can't stop. Or he didn't stop at that time. At last Philippines came within the sight of city gates of Athens. So at last Philippines has came in the sights of the his sight can see that he has reached the Athens, city gates of Athens. He is successful in his mission. So he was successful in his mission. He reached before the Persians, and he has reached before the Persian. Obviously, he is successful. The people of Athens reopened the gate to Philippines. What happened, Philippines? Do you bring good news or? Yes, joy to you. We won, we won. As soon as Philippines had delivered this message, he collapsed, never to rise again. He had laid down his life in the service of Athens. So what happened? He was successful in his mission and he had reached before the Persian. When the people see that Philippines has come, they had opened the gate for him and they asked, what happened, Philippines? We have won or not? So Philippines said, yes, we have won. It's very happy moment for you all. As soon as he had delivered the message, he collapsed. Collapse means he just have a effect on because he's just moving very fastly, continuously. So he collapsed and then he never rise again. He had died now. He laid down his life in the service of Athens. The story of Philippines has inspired the people of Greece for many centuries. His historic run from Marathon to Athens became a legend because Marathon to Athens is a very good distance. When the Olympic Games were started in Greece, this legendary event was commemorated in the form of a sporting event. So you can see the marathon. Today, marathons are arranged in many countries. When you see one, or when you are old enough to take part in one, remember the first marathon runner. So, because of this only, marathon is why done because of that person. A tribute to him is given to so that everyone should know about him, how he has saved his country from Persians. So that is why in many countries you are seeing marathons are arranged, and if you are even old or when you see all these, you should remember that the first marathon runner. Who is the first marathon runner? Yeah, Philippines. So thank you, class.
स्टूडेंट्स, अगर आप सही तरीके से अपने वीडियोस यहाँ पर हर रोज भेज रहे हो, आपके चारों वीडियोस आ रहे हैं, तो हर हफ्ते आपके लिए एक स्पेशल गिफ्ट हम यहाँ पर आपको देंगे, राइट। और मंथली अगर आप कंसिस्टेंटली अपने वीडियोस हमें भेज रहे हो और चेक हो रहा है, और जो भी बच्चा सबसे अच्छा स्कोर करेगा पूरे मंथ में, उसे एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन गिफ्ट दिया जाएगा। सो प्लीज़ आपके गिफ्ट के लिए नहीं, आपके एजुकेशन के लिए, और पर्सनलाइज्ड एजुकेशन ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म पे, और वो भी फ्री में, राइट। सो प्लीज़ आपको क्या करना है, वीडियो को एंड तक देखना है, आपको अच्छे तरीके से हर रोज़ वीडियोस को सुनना है और अपने वीडियोस बना करके अच्छे से अच्छे तरीके से भेजना है, राइट। अभी आपको मैं कुछ सच्चाई बताता हूँ। जैसे देखिए यहाँ पर ये स्कूल में आप क्या कर रहे हो, राइट। 50-60 स्टूडेंट्स के बीच में बैठे हो। ये है ट्यूशन आपका, ट्यूशन में भी यही हो रहा है, 50-60 स्टूडेंट्स के बीच में आप बैठे हो। टीचर्स पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, इसमें कोई दूसरी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, टीचर्स पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, लेकिन इतने सारे बच्चों को एक साथ टीचर नहीं पढ़ा सकते हैं। सबकी बातें, हर बात सबके लिए नहीं सुन सकते हैं वो, राइट। और उनको ग्रेड भी नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो वो ओवरऑल क्या करते, क्वेश्चन आंसर्स के पीछे पड़ जाते हैं। हम ये नहीं बोल रहे कि स्कूल नहीं बराबर करता या ट्यूशन्स बराबर नहीं करते, प्रॉब्लम है वहाँ पर। वहाँ ज़्यादा बच्चे एक साथ आने की वजह से अच्छी क्वालिटी मेंटेन करना प्रॉब्लम है। और यहाँ पर टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से आप अपने समय पे सारे वीडियोस बना करके, सीख करके मुझे भेज सकते हो। हमारा टीम आपके सारे वीडियोस को चेक करेगा, और जो टाइम बैरियर है मल्टीप्लाई हो जाता है। आप अपने टाइम पे काम करते हो, टीचर्स अपने टाइम पे काम करते हैं, आपकी क्वालिटी कंट्रोल में आती है, आप कितना अच्छे से सीख रहे हो, समझ रहे हो, ये सब कुछ समझ में आ जाता है। आपका पढ़ाई इंप्रूव होगा बच्चों, आप जब सारी चीज़ों की रीडिंग, राइटिंग, एक्सप्लेनेशन, राइट। सो ये सारी चीज़ें जब आप करोगे धीरे धीरे, तो डेफिनेटली आपका पढ़ाई में इम्प्रूवमेंट आएगा। आप बहुत अच्छे से हर चैप्टर को समझ पाओगे, हर लैंग्वेज में इम्प्रूवमेंट आएगा, आपके समझने में इम्प्रूवमेंट आएगा, आपके बोलने में इम्प्रूवमेंट आएगा। सो प्लीज़ पर्सनलाइज्ड एजुकेशन की तरफ आप जुड़िए, और उसके लिए सिंपली करना कुछ नहीं है आपको। ये जो वेबसाइट पे आपको डाइवर्ट किया जाएगा, नीचे वेबसाइट का लिंक दिया गया है डिस्क्रिप्शन में, वहाँ पर आप क्लिक करिए। वहाँ पर आपका मोबाइल नंबर रजिस्टर करना है, उसके बाद में आपको एक मोबाइल नंबर पे व्हाट्सएप पे एक लिंक आएगा, उस लिंक में जो डिटेल्स मांग रहे हैं वो फिलअप करिए। उसके बाद में आपको पूरी ट्रेनिंग दी जाएगी, किस तरीके से आपको लॉग इन करना है, किस तरीके से आपको जो है सीखना है, अपने वीडियोस रिकॉर्ड करने और हमें भेजना है। थोड़ा 1-2 दिन परेशानी होगा, लेकिन 1-2 दिन के बाद में जब आप परफेक्ट हो जाओगे, हमारे टीचर्स आपको फॉलो अप करते रहेंगे, वो हेल्प करेंगे आपकी जब तक आप परफेक्ट नहीं होते हो। और फिर हर रोज़ डे में आप पूरा जो भी सब्जेक्ट आपको दिया गया है टाइम टेबल के हिसाब से उस वीडियो को आप सुनोगे, वो सारी चीज़ें आप करोगे। करने के बाद हमें वीडियो भेजोगे, हम उसे चेक करेंगे, और शाम को आपका रिपोर्ट आपके पेरेंट्स के पास होगा। तो बहुत ही मज़ेदार तरीके से हम आपको पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, लेकिन उसके लिए आपको हमारे साथ जुड़ना होगा, और तब जा कर के आपकी मदद हम कर पाएंगे, राइट। सो उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप हमसे जुड़ोगे और ये चैनल सबके साथ शेयर करोगे, ताकि आपके सारे दोस्त जो है इस चैनल पर आए, और आप सब लोग एक साथ मिलकर के इस चैनल पे सीखो और एक दूसरे के ग्रोथ को भी चेक कर पाओ, ठीक है। तो हमारे वेबसाइट पे ऐसा पूरा पोर्टल में सिस्टम दिया गया है कि आप अपने दोस्त के साथ कॉम्पीट कर सकते हो, चेक कर सकते हो कि आपका दोस्त कितना अच्छा कर रहा है। सो प्लीज़ पर्सनलाइज्ड एजुकेशन को जोड़िए, ये चैनल सब्सक्राइब करिए और आगे बढ़ते जाइए। ऑल द बेस्ट।